This is News with the Disney Dude. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content, and please hit that thumbs up if you like the video. Here now's the news for Monday, June 29th of 2026. Resort transportation verification begins today, or by the time you're watching this, has already begun at Walt Disney World. So now if you want to board a bus at Disney Springs, now you're going to need they are for hotel guests only. So if you're a person like me, annual pass holder, or anybody else that wants to either go to Disney Springs and then go to one of the parks, you're going to have to either drive your own car, or B, be staying at a Disney resort. Look, I've already been over this rant of, I think that's dumb. I think it's stupid. I really, now they're talking about rolling this out to the boat transportations as well. I really hope that this doesn't get rolled out to, like the Skyliner or the monorail, because that would be dumb. That would be stupid, okay? It's so, again, I've already been over this rant. People already yelling at me, which is fine. I don't care. But, to restrict access to guests, I think that that's dumb. I really think that that's stupid, but that's neither here nor there. Construction permit has been filed for Epcot entrance toll plaza. So evidently they're doing some kind of work. They've already added what do you call those? The speeding strips or something. So people don't once they're in a lane, they can't swerve over to go to over to a lane with a less weight. So we don't really know what this is really about. Just gonna have to keep our eyes and ears open. It might be just for general maintenance and construction like that. So I don't know. So just gonna have to keep my eyes and ears open, but maybe there's some other work that needs to be done. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. Young girl jumps down into animal enclosure at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. Please do not do this. Please do not do this. These are wild animals. They can, I kind of hate to say it, but they can kill you. Okay, I hate to be that guy, but they can do some serious injury to you, and they can kill you. All right, I know we don't want to think about that because this is, Walt Disney World, but, that's, okay, these are wild animals, okay? Whether they've been there a long time or not, and whether the animals have been there a long time or not is kind of irrelevant. They're still wild animals. They are still wild animals, and just because an animal is on Walt Disney World property doesn't mean they're not going to attack you. So I'm so glad that the girl didn't get hurt or mauled or anything. So, but yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Look, she was a little girl. I can't be mad at the girl, you know. So, but, you know, please watch your kids. Okay? Please watch your kids so they don't do something like this. Because, again, these are wild animals. Okay? These are wild animals, and you never know what a wild animal is going to do. Level 99, a sprawling playground for adults, has opened today at Disney Springs. I haven't done this. I'm not real. This really isn't my thing. You know, a lot of you know, there's another blogger that I follow, Tom Corliss over at WDWNT. He said that this was a whole lot better than Disney Quest. I believe him. Now, I never went to Disney Quest, so that I can't really talk about. But I believe him. You know, I believe Tom when he says that it's better than Disney Quest. I don't know if I'll ever do this or not. I'm probably not. But if any of you go or have been, let me know how it was, because I'd like to know. I would really like to know. Major changes to Magic Kingdom security is ahead of July 4th weekend. What they have done is with for the people that get off the buses, they have now added more barriers to the bus exit. So when you exit the buses, instead of, you know, of course, like, you know, zigzagging and cramming, you know, everybody, now Disney has, you know, set up barriers in place so people must walk, you know, they must walk through, you know, in an orderly fashion to the main entrance, which is, you know, a great idea. I mean, it's, you know, you don't want people, you know, cramming people on a very busy holiday. Okay. And July 4th is probably one of the biggest holidays here at Walt Disney World. Holidays like, July 4th, Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas, things like that, holidays like that, they're very busy. They are very busy here at Walt Disney World. So it's nice to see that they're getting ready. It's nice to see that they're getting ready. And it's nice to see that they have their ducks in a row. And they're not just sitting there going, well, I hope everyone just follows the rules and they don't, you know. So I'm glad that Disney has done this. So it just keeps things more orderly. Because if Disney is not, you know, if Disney is not on top of stuff like this, then it just creates more problems and headaches and anxiety for other people. Okay, and Disney is stressful enough. I guess I never found it stressful, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But you know, Disney is stressful enough. We don't need people, you know, running into people and crowding people, you know, trying to get into the park. So, so again, I'm glad that Disney has done this. Again, I'm blocked out for July 4th, for the weekend, which is actually really nice because it's supposed to be rainy and stormy. So that's, you know, I'm glad that I'm blocked out. So I never get to, you know, I never experience 4th of July. I never experience Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's or Easter. You know, I don't get to experience that stuff because I'm blocked out because I'm very poor. I'm poor and I can't afford the highest level of annual pass that has no blockout dates. So, you know, so now I'm the third tier down. So I'm pirate, which was essentially gold. But I'm pirate, so I get blocked out for most of the holidays, like, Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Columbus Day, 4th of July, holidays like that I get blocked out of. So I never experience the parks during the busy times. So, I don't know if it's as crazy as people say it is, or I really don't know. But if it is, I'm glad that I don't have to experience that. Really, really glad. Disney Springs website has been updated with transportation verification information. So this goes back to what I read on the first story of the show. So again, if you're heading at Disney Springs, just be aware that they will check. They are going to check you. I've seen people like, they're not going to check. They're not going to check. They don't enforce and blah, 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 blah. It looks like they're enforcing. It looks like they're enforcing this. So, just take that, if they don't let you on the bus, if you don't have a valid hotel reservation or dining reservation, don't get mad at the cast members, because they're just doing their job. But just, again, keep that in mind, okay, that they are checking. They are checking. 2026 Food and Wine Festival booths have arrived at Epcot. The festival doesn't start until August. Okay? It doesn't start until August, but I guess they're getting stuff ready for the festival. Food and wine, not one of my favorite festivals. Again, I don't eat a lot of stuff at the parks. I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. So the food and wine festival is not really my jam. I love the other festivals. I love Flower and Garden and the Festival of the Arts, and of course the Festival of the Holidays. Those are my three favorite festivals. I don't really care about the Food and Wine Festival. I know people are going to jump in. They're going to be like, what? But it's okay. But I'm sorry that if me not drinking offends you, I'm sorry, but okay. Captain Jack Sparrow has been added to Mickey's not-so-scary Halloween party entertainment at the Magic Kingdom. This is interesting because all the other times of the year that he's been at the Halloween party, he's only been in the parade. He's only been in the Boo to You parade. So it's really interesting that they're adding him as either a roam around character or an actual meet and greet character. But I think that's great. That's great. Look, when I was young, because I'm very old. Okay, when I was young, when I first started going to the Halloween party, okay, in Pirates of the Caribbean, they had live pirates. They had live pirates in the ride, okay, which was fantastic, which was spectacular, all right? And then COVID happened, and they got rid of them, and then they decided not to bring them back, okay? Which I think that was dumb. I really think that was dumb. Not having live pirates in the ride during the Halloween party, I think that was dumb. That was really, really dumb of them to take them away. So, and they're now they're the band. outside of Pirates of the Caribbean. So we really didn't lose them, but we lost them in the ride. We lost them in the ride, and riding pirates during the Halloween party now is kind of like, it's okay. You know, riding Pirates of the Caribbean during Halloween was fantastic, was wonderful. There were live pirates down there. They would, now obviously they couldn't reach you, but they would be like, they would try to, steal your candy and such, and have, vocal banter with you, which was fantastic, which was great. And they got rid of them, and they're probably never going to be coming back. They're probably never going to go back into Pirates of the Caribbean during the Halloween party, which is very sad, very, very sad. So, but the Jack Sparrow meet and greet, I think that's fantastic. Another offering at the party, which is just great, wonderful. I'm not gonna argue that. We lost the real pirates on Pirates of the Caribbean during the Halloween party, but we gained Jack Sparrow, which, he's not a live person in the ride. He's just, he's a meet and greet or a walk around character, which again is fantastic. It's just not something I would have wanted. I would have wanted Disney to put live pirates back into Pirates of the Caribbean, but that's either here nor there. And our last story is this is not something related to Walt Disney World, not yet. I'm hoping, but this pertains to Disneyland. Again, I don't really cover Disneyland news because obviously I'm not there. I don't live in California, so I can't really speak on anything at Disneyland. Once in a while, I'll do a story on Disneyland, but not much, not a lot. But I'm going to talk about this one because this has a lot of people. This is a lot of controversy. All right. So, controversial new pirate has been added to Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland, and I'm going to weigh in on this. Okay, I'm going to weigh in on this. So, first of all, the figure looks fine. He looks great, okay? Nothing wrong with the figure, okay? He's great. Two problems I have with this, and most people are saying the same thing, is he has a projected face, okay? So, Disney basically lied to us. They basically lied to us in saying that they're never doing projection faces again. Okay? Well, if that's the case, why did you do a projected face on this pirate? I don't understand. I don't get it. Okay? Now, again, nothing wrong with the figure yet. He looks great. He looks good. But the projected face, it's okay. Come on. That makes me a little nervous. That makes me a little nervous because when that animatronic breaks down, what's going to happen? Okay, what's going to happen with that? Okay, so so that's my worry number one. Okay, worry number two is they've screwed up the transition. They screwed up the transition from the peaceful cavern. So the idea with Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean, which I think is the best version of Pirates of the Caribbean, if I'm being honest, between Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Okay, Disneyland's version of Pirates of the Caribbean is absolutely the best. Okay, so the thing with Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean is you start in the bayou where there's no pirates, no nothing. There, you're just sailing through the bayou, and then you drop down the waterfall, and then you drop down into the caverns, and it kind of eases you in a little bit to what's going to happen. Of course, the song plays, yo ho, a pirate's life for me. That song plays. You go down another dip, and then things start getting a little bit more moody and creepy. Where dead men tell no tales, and you see a lot of dead pirates. You see a lot of dead pirates, the skulls and everything laying around everywhere, and then you see this pirate pick up one of the cursed doubloons. Very happy that he picked it up, and then he gets very, very scared because he's now cursed, and he turns into a skeleton. All right, and then you go through a little bit. You go through the ride a little bit more, and then you see the pirate, the pirate just before you go into the first scene of the ride, which is Captain Barbossa's ship. You see the skeleton, and then you start to sail past him, and then he transforms into a flesh character, and obviously he's not animated. He just, it's a mirror. On one side, it's the skeleton, and then when you move past him a little bit, then he becomes a full-fleshed pirate, and then you move on to, and then basically the pirates are alive. The pirates are alive now. Okay. My problem with this new pirate is it screws up the narrative. It screws up the entire narrative. Okay. You should have put the pirate after the pirate that's the skeleton and then transforms into the actual pirate. You should have put him after that, where he's stealing the doubloon and then transforms back into the skull. So again, they've screwed up the narrative. They screwed up the narrative, and it's the same thing with our version here in Florida of the Haunted Mansion. Okay, they put in the Hatbox Ghost. Well, they put the Hatbox Ghost in the wrong spot. Okay, they put the Hatbox Ghost in the wrong spot. So when you go through the Haunted Mansion here in Florida, or at Disneyland for that matter, things, you go through the stretching room, and then you go through the ride, and it's very clear to you that there's ghosts. It's very clear that there's something otherworldly going on in this house or in this mansion. Okay, and things start, getting a little bit more alive. And then you go into Madame Leota's seance room. She performs the seance. Then you go through. Then you go into the ballroom, and then all the ghosts are alive. I say alive, but she brings back the ghosts, and they're having their swinging wake. Okay, so that's the way that's the natural progression of it. In Walt Disney World, when they added our version of the Hatbox Ghost, they put him in the hallway. So he's the very first ghost you see. which again screws up the narrative. It totally screws up the narrative, okay? It's like, well, now I know that, I mean, you know that this house is haunted, okay? You know that the house is haunted. You know that there's something going on, but you have to ease into it. You have to leave something to the imagination, okay? And with our version, having the Hatbox Ghost right there at the beginning it just screws up. It screws everything up. It screws everything up. It just screws everything up, and it leaves nothing to your imagination. Now you're just like, okay, I get, so it screws everything up. And they did the same thing with Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland. Okay. My hope would be sometime down the road, they'll maybe move this figure so it'll, he can be a little bit further down, but I don't really see that happening. But I'm torn. Okay. Figure looks great. Nothing wrong with him. He's just in the wrong spot. He's in the wrong spot. And it's the same thing here at our Haunted Mansion. Okay. Hatbox Ghost looks fine. Okay. He's in the wrong spot. And that's why we're making a big deal out of it. Okay. So I just don't know. If anyone's watching this that lives in California, that goes to Disneyland, let me know what you think about. Have you been on this? Have you been on Pirates now with this new pirate? What's your take on it? Again, I like the figure. The figure's fine. It's in the wrong spot. It's in the wrong spot. So that's my gripe with it. All right. But let me know how you feel. I'm sure people are going to come in. They're going to be like, you just hate everything. Blah, 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 blah. No, I don't hate everything. I just hate it when Disney screws up when Disney screws up something that they know that they shouldn't have screwed up. Okay. But whether it being Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean or Florida or our version of the Haunted Mansion here in Florida. Okay. It's just when they screw something up, then we go after them, because it's like, look, you screwed up the narrative. Why did you do that? That was dumb. Okay. So, but let me know how you feel. I mean, I'm going to say this one more time because I know someone's probably going to pick an argument with me, but I like the figure. I have no problems with the figure. The figure is fine. Okay. My two main gripes are he has the projected face and he's in the wrong spot. Okay. So Disney, you lied to us when you said there was going to be no more projected faces. So that's gripe number one. Gripe number two is you put him in the wrong spot. Okay. Those are my two gripes. Otherwise, figure's fine. Okay. But again, if there's anyone in California that watches this show, let me know. Or if you've seen videos online, let me know how you feel. That's just the way I feel about it. So, but there you are. There is your news for this Monday. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to this channel for more content. Real quick, I have to plug my blogging channel. I did walk around Animal Kingdom today to check on the progression of the Encanto, the Tropical Americas section of the park. So if you would please go over and give that a watch. Hit that like button, subscribe to that channel as well. Subscribe to my sister channel as well. That would be a great big help as well. I spent just a couple minutes talking about the Tropical Americas construction and the progression. So if you would go over to my sister channel and give that a watch and like that video, I would very much appreciate it. The channel is it's at Blogging with the Disney Dude. All right. Otherwise, I will see you right back here on Wednesday for Wednesday's news show. Until then, y'all keep each other safe and healthy. And remember that tomorrow is just a dream away.